Your friend Yogendra, and let's learn some phrasal verbs. So first verb is becoming to, means enhancing one's good looks. Example: the hairstyle is very becoming to you. Next, behind closed doors means in secret, away from observers. Example: every important issue was decided behind closed doors. Next, behind the scenes means privately or out of public view. Example: we don't usually thank the people who are behind the scenes. Next, believe it or not. I'm over 25, believe it or not. Below average means lower or worse than average. Example: Dad asked why my grades were below average. Why my grades were below average. Beside the point or beside the question means irrelevant. Example: your observation is besides the question. Next, bent on means doing something, determined to do something. Example: I'm bent on becoming the number one fastest, quickest wicket taking bowler in the world. Beyond measure means more than and can be measured. Example: they thanked all of us beyond measure. Next, beyond words, more than one can say. Example: I don't know how to thank you. I'm grateful beyond words. Next, beyond a reasonable doubt means almost without any doubt. Example: the jury decided beyond a reasonable doubt that she was a criminal. Next, bite the hands that feeds means want to harm someone who does good things for you. Example: I'm your mother. How can you bite the hands that feeds you? Next, bog down means to slow down, to become stuck. Example: the project bogged down because of so much red tape. Next, the bottom line means the last figure on a financial balance sheet that represents loss or profit. I know everything, but what is the bottom line? Next, break out in a cold sweat means to perspire from fever or fear. Example: I was so frightened, I broke out in a cold sweat. Next, break the back of something means something to end the domination of something. Example: the government has worked for years to break the back of organized crime. Next, break something to pieces means to shatter something. Example: I dropped a glass and broke it to pieces. Bright and early means very early. Example: yes, I'll be there bright and early. Next, bring something into question means to question something. Example: it was necessary to bring your part in this matter into question. Next, bring something off means to make something happen or to produce a great event. Example: she brought off a similar party last season. Next, bring something to light means to make something known. We must bring this new evidence to light. Next, bring someone up to date means to tell someone the news about something. Example: I want to hear all the news and bring me up to date too. Next, bring something about means to make something happen. Example: I can bring about anything I want. Next, by all means, certainly. By all means, I would love to do what I want to do. Next, by a mile means by a great distance. You missed the target by a mile. Next, by any means by any way possible. Example: I need to get there soon by any means. Next, by himself means alone. Example: he hates to eat by himself. Next, by itself means with the help of nothing else. With the help of nothing else. Can dog get out of the house itself? Next, by myself means with no one else present. Example: I sat at the table by myself. Next, by the hour means eat at each hour. It kept growing darker by the hour. Next, by the week means 1 week at a time. Example, I plan my schedule by the week. Next, by virtue of means because of something or due to something. They are members of the club by virtue of their great wealth. Next, call out to means to shout to someone. Example, you need to call out to Ram, please. Call it a day means to quit work and go home. Example, I'm tired, let's call it a day. Next, close at hand means within reach. Example, when you are cooking food, you should always keep things close at hand. Alright? Next, come as no surprise means not to be surprising. Example, it came as no surprise that the president had been lying. Next, come down to earth means to become realistic. Example, pay attention to what is going on, come down to earth and join the discussion. Right? Next, come from far and wide means to come from many different places. The food which we eat come from far and wide, buddy. Next, come in handy means to be useful or convince. Example, a good hammer always come in handy. Next, come off means to happen. Example, how did your speech come off? It came off very well. Next, come off second best means to win second place. Example, Ram came off second best in the race. Okay. Next, come out of nowhere means to appear suddenly. Example, suddenly a truck came out of nowhere. Next, come to an untimely end means to come to an early death. Cancer causes people to come to an untimely end. Next, come to an end means to stop. Example, the party came to an end at midnight. Next, come through means to do what one is expected to do. Example, we thought that there would be no food, but Ram came through at the last minute with everything. Next, come with the territory means to be expected under circumstance like this. Example, there are problems, but that comes with territory, buddy. Don't have a care in the world means being free. Example, I really feel good as if I didn't have care in the world. Next, do something to access means to do too much of something. Example, I take tea to excess. Next, even the best of times means even when things are good. Example, I had to get high quality leather even in the best of times. Next, for all I know means according to the information I have. Example, I may have gone to town for all I know. Next, from way back means from far in the past. Example, this antique clock is from way back. Next, get around to means doing something to find time to do something. Example, I finally got around to doing the breakfast. Next, get carried away means to be overcome by emotion or enthusiasm. Example, calm down, Ram, don't get carried away, buddy. Next, get down to the facts means to begin to talk about things that matter. Example, let's get down to the fact, Mr. Ram, where were you on the night? Get the red carpet treatment means to receive very special treatment. Example, I love to go to fancy stores, I get the red carpet treatment over there. Next, get to the root of the problem. Example, I'll take a little more study to get to the root of the problem first. Next, it stands to reason that means if it stands to reason that something happens or is true, it is what you would expect. Example, it stands to reason that a child that is constantly criticized will grow up to have no self-confidence. Next, stand a chance means to have a chance of success. Example, we might stand a chance of winning this game. Next, get the short end of the stick means to suffer the bad effect in a situation. Example, the people who get the short end of the stick are those whose income is just too high. Next, have to be seen to be believed. have to be seen to be believed means something is so surprising or shocking that is difficult to believe. The devastation had to be seen to be believed. See eye to eye with means if two people see eye to eye with, they agree with each other. Example, he has asked for a transfer because he does not see eye to eye with his boss. That's for all today. I hope you have learned. Thank you so much. My name is Yogendra once again.